Companion Animal Clinic, it's about a 3,000 square foot building that we actually built over the old bowling alley foundation. We got started in the fall, so it was pretty important to get the foundations in, the slab, so that we could frame the outside walls and kind of be closed in for winter.
Mostly the scheduling was the most challenging. The vet had a trailer in the back that he was working out of, so we had a small time frame to get the building finished so he could move in.
Keeping all the casework kind of centered and cutting our scribe strips to fit the openings. It just wasn't, most times it was wall-to-wall casework.
It came in several pieces and it butted into two different walls. I did most of the finish work, all the cabinets, which there was quite a bit of. The receptionist desk was a big arched receptionist desk in many pieces. Put it all together, take it apart, put it all together, fit it. You had to fit it all together, and we had a very limited, because the rest of the flooring had to be done, we had a very limited time to do it because that had to be in before we could do the flooring. Within the casework, we also had equipment that had to fit in with the casework. So everything was coordinating all of the equipment in with the casework.
Some unique equipment there with the surgery, the dental area, and some of the animal housing that they have. They were just very pleasant to work with, and was a nice project. I know you can't hear from the pets, but I'm hoping they can enjoy it as much as the owners do.
It was a new addition to Mount Nittany Medical Center that included a new medical gas air skid, a new medical vacuum skid, and a bunch of operating rooms. I've been up at Mount Nittany for 3 years, but this particular phase started spring of last year, so it's basically a 1-year project to this point. We had 5 operating rooms, which each operating room consists of 3 medical gas booms, and just the overall footage of piping it actually was. It's a pretty large project. Whenever you're dealing with working next to an existing hospital, you gotta be very cautious what's on the other side, as far as you could be core drilling through a wall where it might be an existing patient room, so there could actually be patients beside where you're working, so you gotta be real cautious of what you're doing. If we are next to a room, or if we are going to an existing hospital, we gotta set up a ICRA barrier. Basically, if we're going in there, we're gonna be dirty, we gotta wear boots, little booties we call them, and depending, just gotta be overall clean. Just, that was like the biggest medical gas system I've ever been around. So just to be able to deal with the medical air, medical vacuum skids that we installed, we installed a bottle room, which consists of like a nitrogen, nitrous oxide, and carbon dioxide room. We had this new thing we usually don't do, but we call it double block and bleed system, which makes tie-ins to existing piping easier if we decide to make larger additions in the future. I was surprised seeing it was mainly in-wall piping, and once in-wall piping's done, it's covered up, and it's something you don't see. You know, it's something that's a little rare compared to being able to just walk in and seeing like the mechanical rooms and stuff that we're used to seeing.
It was an emergency power upgrade for York Hospital. New generators, transfer switches, panels, transformers. The whole job was interesting. If anything, it would be they put a generator farm, installed a generator farm, which was part of the project. It was 12 generators to take care of what used to be 5 generators. The ceilings were very congested, so we had it was challenging finding routes for the conduits.
The most difficult or challenging would be routing of the conduits throughout the hospital, the confined space of the hospital itself, and getting that through, and the equipment, getting the equipment in throughout the hospital. We went through and measured for the conduits. We did like layout. We went through and did some runs, dry runs, before we ran the conduit. And then some places we had to start over because you couldn't make it through certain spaces, so you ran another direction with it. And then we did put the stuff on CAD.
Our engineer at our office drew up all the, once we laid out the pipe, he drew it up on CAD.
Once we get the dimensions of the space of where the conduit runs will be, it actually comes back with a three-dimensional colored drawings that different size conduits are in different colors, and the layout, it shows everything on there. When we went to do the shutdowns, we had to actually wait on somebody maybe to get out of the OR in that particular area that we were going to be working the electrical power that was going to affect that area. They had to wait till that case got done before we could proceed with the shutdown.
Well, when we first got to the project, all the hospital maintenance guys were really on us. I don't know how you guys are going to do the project. Good luck. Some of them even thought it wasn't possible. And then, of course, in the end, when we got it done, it was really rewarding.
Everything went smoothly. That was the most satisfying, that we didn't have any issues.